that you can get a 2-year work permit in Canada without LMIA, which expires in March 2026. Watch this video till the end as I will show you the eligibility and application processes. Canada is known for its imaginative and forward-thinking approach to movement, and the presentation of the unused 2-year advancement stream work permit is prime. The worldwide hyper development venture GHP and is planned to draw in exceedingly talented remote specialists to Canada without LMIA requirement. What is the Global Hyper Growth Project? This project stream is aimed at making a quick difference in Canadian business development by providing customized support to Canada's economy. The GHP is the foundation of Canada's strategy to cultivate advancement and financial development by making it more straightforward for companies to contract talented remote workers. It permits foreign nationals to work in Canada for 2 years without requiring the LMIA. This stream is particularly planned for high-skilled employment beneath the preparing instruction, that is the tier categories 0, 1, 2, or 3, covering various occupations from administrative parts to specialized employment requiring specialized skills. What are the eligibilities? The qualification criteria for Canadian development work are recorded these. 1. Foreign nationals who need to apply for a work permit under the advancement stream ought to have a work offer from one of the Canadian bosses under Hyper Development Project. The work offer must come beneath the tier 0, 1, 2, or 3 occupation. More so, the Canadian Advancement Work allows applications to be filled utilizing the IRCC secure account. Applicants should have the abilities required for the work they are applying for. And lastly, immigration officers must guarantee the candidates meet the instruction and encounter the necessities for their jobs. Here are the list of companies. The companies you are seeing on your screen are at the bleeding edge of development in their particular businesses and offer energizing openings for talented outside workers. Now to the application process. If you meet the qualification criteria, take these steps to apply for the advancement stream work permit. Firstly, secure a work offer, which guarantees you have received a work offer from one of the qualified companies participating in the worldwide hyper development project. Prepare your application. Assemble all vital records, counting verification of your capabilities, work offer, points of interest, and any other required information, and submit through IRCC's secure account. Total and yield your application through the IRCC secure account. Beyond any doubt, all data must be accurate and total to maintain a strategic distance from delay. Finally, await preparation. Once the application is submitted, movement officers will look into it, and if endorsed, you will get your work permit, permitting you to work in Canada for 2 years. Conclusively for today, with no LMIA required and the ability to bring a family individual who can also work in Canada, this work offers an interesting pathway to living and working in Canada. So if you are fascinated by this opportunity, meet the qualification criteria and apply as soon as possible. Your other huge career move could be far around the corner. See you next time in our next video.